And we live. Boom. I'm gonna just go ahead and kick this off talking, just out the gate. The reason I'm not with that Hebrew Israelite ideology no more, cause it's a lie. That's why. And I've been woken up to what the actual truth is. Not saying that none of these men don't speak any truth at all. Some things they may say, yeah, it may be truth. The truth is the truth. 2 plus 2 is 4, right? Whether I say it or if the devil say it. The devil say 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay. I say 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, it's the truth, because it's the truth. I'm not saying the devil can tell the truth. I'm just saying no matter who say the truth is the truth. But there are a lot of things that are untrue that are being spoken, especially when it pertains to the gospel. And I can't get down, I can't get jiggy with that no more. You know what I mean? I just can't. For instance, I got my Bible open on my phone right here to 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9 through 15. Something that came to me off the rip. It say a wife should learn quietly with complete submission. Blah, blah, blah. And it say, I'm going to verse 13. It say, Adam was formed first. So it mentions Adam. Adam wasn't no Hebrew Israelite, was he? No. Because the Israelites, according to the Bible, came later down the line through Jacob. Because his name was changed to Israel. So his descendants were named the Israelites, right? Boom. But still, we reference, the scripture references Adam and talks about different significant people in the Bible who are not Israelites. Period. And you even see it through the scriptures, right? We got a story with Balaam, or Balaam, however you pronounce his name, who was called a prophet. He's mentioned as a prophet, and the Most High God dealt with him. And he's not an Israelite, yet the Most High God still dealt with him. Nebuchadnezzar, the Most High God dealt with Nebuchadnezzar. He's not an Israelite, yet the Most High God still dealt with him. You got so many characters where you see the Most High God is dealing with them in one way or another, and they not Israelites. The God of the Bible is the God of all creation. He made all creation, all of this. He's not just the God of this or that or this or that. He's the literal God of everything. Now, yes,
All right, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chochadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to doing this work to those that are doing this work in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Nathan Yala from the GMS Camp Atlanta, coming back at you through the Spirit with another quick lesson. And this lesson is centered around, this Israelite guy who's hurt, who don't understand the scriptures and prophecy and the purpose of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and why he do things, And we're just gonna get into some of the stuff that he said. One of the things that he said was, how the Most High was dealing with these other nations, and the Most High, he only deals with the Israelites, and moreover, he only deals with the elect of Israel. Okay, and this guy just really just don't know the scriptures. Not even I can't even consider him a novice because ain't on no level whatsoever understanding, and he wants to get on here and talk about why he's not a Hebrew Israelite anymore. All right, and we just about to touch on some of the stuff that he spoke of through the Spirit. I didn't watch the whole video. I just watched about 4 or 5 minutes of it, and he said enough within those 4 or 5 minutes of the video. That was off. So without further ado, we're just gonna grab some precepts. I'm gonna start off with Romans 9. This is Romans 9. I'm gonna start at verse 2. It says that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart, for I wish that myself were accursed from Yahweh Shai HaMashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. Now, when you go into that word kinsman, Salakia. I don't know why I did that. You go into that word kinsman, and he says according to the flesh already. So just him saying according to the flesh shows you that this is a blood tied to those that came out of the seed line. And it says of the same kin. Let's see what it is.
Strong's G 4773. Sungenes. Sungenes.
All right, Sungenes. And it says of the same kin, akin, related by blood, in a wiser sense, of the same nation, a fellow countryman. Okay, so this is talking about a blood tie. Okay, so when he says a curse for my kinsmen according to the flesh, he's talking about those that come through the same seed line as him. Okay, and here he's going to further, the Apostle Paul further elaborates here where he says, who are Israelites, who to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenant and the giving of the law and the service of Yahweh and the promises. So only the Israelites were given those things pertaining to the service of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And they were only given, and they were the only nation that was given salvation because these are the Lord's chosen people. All right. It says, verse 5, whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Yahweh Shai Hamashiach came, who is over all, Yahweh blessed forever. Amen. And it says, not as though the word of Yahweh is taking none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. So you got, you know how they say, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. But just because you look the part, don't mean that you're of the chosen few of Israel. Okay, and this guy, he's obviously not. Okay, because he didn't even dive deep enough to understand the scriptures. That's one. And two, he was just outright rejected, by the camps. He said that I wasn't with it, but you can just tell by his stout and arrogance that he kept that same type of energy when he was around the camps, whichever camp he was around, that he knew everything. All right, and then humble down and listen. See, when you come into this truth, man, you gotta humble down and come like a newborn babe. And obviously these things that he's reading about was stuff that was still stuck in him from when he was a Christian. Okay? Because now he's on that, oh, well, all nations can be saved shit, and they can't. All right? They can't. All right? It says, verse 7, it says, neither because they are of the seed of Abraham are they all, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. So just because you come through the seed line of Abraham don't mean, because Ishmael was Abraham's son too. Okay, so just because you came through the seed line of Abraham don't mean that you're of the chosen line. You have to come through Isaac because that was the chosen seed line. All right. It says, for this is the word of promise, and this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but Rebekah also conceived by one, even by our father Isaac. For the children being not yet born, and this is the point that I wanted to get to right here, coming up. For the children not yet born, neither have done good or evil, that the purpose of Yahweh according to the election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. So the Lord can use whoever he wants for his purpose, for the purpose of prophecy, okay, for the purpose of fulfilling the prophecy. So he can use Balaam, he can use Nebuchadnezzar, okay, he can use Israelites, he can use the heathen, he can use whoever he wants for the purpose of bringing forth prophecy, okay. Verse 12, it says, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger, as it is written, Jacob have I loved and Esau has I hated. So this shows you the Lord don't love everybody. The Lord hates nations. And this is written in the book of Malachi. So if you want to go back and look that up, it's written in the book of Malachi. It says, For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So the Lord can have mercy on who he wants to. Okay? Who he wants to. He can have compassion on who he want to have compassion on. This is the Lord's movie, but he chose the Israelites. All right? Verse 17, it says, For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up. So the Lord raised up Pharaoh for his purpose, that I may show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout the earth. You see that? So the Lord, he chooses certain individuals, whether it be heathens or whether they be Israelites, for the purpose of bringing forth his purpose. Okay? So this is something that this dude right here just don't understand. You know, while you bringing out these scriptures about, or mentioning Balaam, and Lord willing, we can go into a little bit about Balaam. As a matter of fact, let's go in and let's read that. Numbers, let's go to 22. All right, so we just start here at 22. And Yahweh said, came unto Balaam and said, What men are these with thee? And Balaam said unto Yahweh, Balak the son of Zippor, king of Moab, hath sent unto me, saying, Behold, there is a people come out of Egypt which covereth the face of the earth. Come now, curse me them, peradventure I shall be above to overcome them and drive them out. And Yahweh said unto Balaam, Thou shalt not go with them, thou shalt not curse the people, for they are blessed. So the Lord was just giving Balaam a warning, okay? That doesn't mean that he was dealing with Balaam. He was just giving him a warning. He said, bro, you don't go over there and curse those people, you know? And it says, And Balaam rose up in the morning and said unto the prince of Balak, Get you into your land, for the Lord refuses to give me leave to you give me leave to go with you. So the Lord said, Nah, don't go with him. And the prince of Moab rose up, and they went unto Balak and said, Balaam refused to come with us. And Balak sent yet again princes more and more honorable than they. And they came to Balaam and said, Thus saith Balak the son of Zippor, Let nothing, I pray thee, hinder thee from coming unto me. For I will promote thee unto very great honor, and I will do whatsoever thou sayest unto me. Come therefore, I pray thee, curse this people. And Balaam answered and said unto his servants of Balak, If Balak would give me his house full of silver and gold, I cannot go beyond the word of the Lord my God to do less or more. Therefore I pray you tarry ye also here this night, that I may know that the Lord will say unto me. And Yahweh came to Balaam at night and said unto him, If men come to call thee, rise up and go with them. But yet the word which I shall say unto thee, that thou shalt do. And Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his ass and went with the princes of Moab. Okay? And Yahweh's anger was kindled because he went, and the angel of the Lord stood in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding on an ass, and his two servants were with him. And the ass saw the angel standing in the way, and his sword drawn, and in his hand. And the ass turned aside out of the way and went into the field. And Balaam smote the ass to turn her into the way. But the angel of the Lord stood in the path of the vineyard, a wall being on one side, and a wall that the wall on that side. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, he thrusted herself into the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, and he smote her again. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in the narrow place where there was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. Then the ass saw the angel of the Lord, fell down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled and smote the ass with the staff. Then the Lord opened the mouth of the ass, and she said unto Balaam, What have I done to thee, that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? And Balaam said unto the ass, Because thou hast mocked me, I would there were a sword in my hand, for now I will kill thee. And the ass said unto Balaam, am I not thine ass, upon which thou hast ridden ever since I was thine unto this day? Was I ever wrought to do so under thee? And he said, Nay. And the angel opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand, and he bowed his head and fell at his face. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, Wherefore hast thou smitten thy ass these 3 times? And behold, I went out to withstand thee, because thy way is preserved before me. And the ass saw and turned me from these 3 times, unless she had turned from me. Surely now also I would have slain thee and saved her life. And Balaam said unto the Lord, I have sinned, and not that thou stoodest in the way against me. Now therefore, if it pleases thee, I would get back again. So the Lord sent a warning to Balaam, and that's all that was. He just sent a warning. Okay. All right. So we're gonna run that back one more time.
Adam and talks about different significant people in the Bible who are not Israelite. Period. And you even see it through the scriptures, right? We got a story with Balaam, or Balaam, however you pronounce his name, who was called a prophet. He's mentioned as a prophet, and the Most High God dealt with him. And he's not an Israelite, yet the Most High God still dealt with him. Nebuchadnezzar, the Most High God dealt with Nebuchadnezzar. He's not an Israelite, yet the Most High God still dealt with him. You got so many characters where you see the Most High God is dealing with them in one way or another, and they not Israelites. The God
All
of the
right.
Bible is the
Now, like I said, the purpose of that was, one, to stop Balaam from pursuing the Israelites that were coming out of Egypt. Okay, that was all that was. Okay, he wasn't dealing with Balaam. All right, and he still spared Balaam because because if the ass wouldn't have turned aside, the angel said, "Man, I was about to kill you, bruh." All right, so it was just a warning, man. What are you talking about? All right, all right. 1 second. All right, so I believe Beor was the father of Balaam, and Laban was the father of, if I'm not mistaken, was the father of Beor. Okay, so I believe he goes back to the line of Ham, if I'm not 100% mistaken. All right, but the Lord can use whoever He wants. All right, the Lord can use whoever He wants to bring out His purpose. All right, so let's continue on. We've heard enough of that. Let's go to Proverbs 21. Proverbs 21:1. And it says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whatsoever he will. So the Lord is the one that controls the hearts and the minds of men. All right. It's not just men just do whatever the hell they want to do. Okay. You can technically say that the Lord is dealing with everybody because he's controlling this thing, but he's not. He's using everybody else to bring forth prophecy. He's dealing with the Israelites, and out of those Israelites, he's exclusively dealing with the elect of Israel. Okay. I think it's Daniel. I think it's Daniel. Okay. All right. Bear with me 1 second. All right, this is Daniel 4:7. 4:17. And it says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whosoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. Okay, and you can see it starts going into Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, as a matter of fact, since he mentioned Nebuchadnezzar, we'll read a little bit of it because this goes into the dream and how and an example of how the Lord used Nebuchadnezzar to exalt Daniel. Okay, does that mean that the Lord was dealing with Nebuchadnezzar? No, it meant that he used Nebuchadnezzar for his purpose. All right. So the Lord gives the kingdom to whoever he will. He set it up to one and put it down another. All right. And you know what? Before we get that, let's get that real quick. Let's go to the book of Psalms 75 and 7. And we're going to start at verse 6. It says, for promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but Yahweh is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. You see that? So the Lord is the one, he's control of all this, man. What the hell are you talking about? See, you don't know the scriptures, and you don't know how to examine the scriptures. Talking about some everybody can be saved. The scriptures weren't even written for everybody. The nations were actually, the Lord divided the nations according to the number of the children of Israel. So the nations were actually put here for the children of Israel. All right? You're allowing the current condition of the Israelites to dictate your perception of what the scriptures are actually saying. And furthermore, you just don't know the scriptures. All right. So let's go back to that Daniel and let's read this account of Nebuchadnezzar. All right. So this is Daniel 4:18. It says, "This dream I, King Nebuchadnezzar, has seen. Now thou, O Belteshazzar, declare the interpretation thereof, for as much as all the wise men of my kingdom are not able to make me known unto me the interpretation, but thou art able, for the spirit of the holy of the holy gods is in thee." Then Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, that was what they called him in Egypt, was astonished. I believe for Salakia, not in Egypt. Salakia, it escapes me. I believe it was Babylon, but nevertheless, we'll continue. I could be wrong on that. It says, continued on. It says, then Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, was as stoned for 1 hour, and his thoughts troubled him. And the king spake, and Belteshazzar, let not the dream or the interpretation thereof trouble thee. Belteshazzar answered and said, my lord, the dream be to them that hate thee, and the interpretation thereof to thine enemies. Okay? And it says, the tree that thou sawest which grew was strong, whose height reached unto the heavens, in the sight of thereof of the earth, whose leaves were fair, and the fruit thereof much. In it was meat for all, under which the beasts of the fields dwelt, upon whose branches the fowls of the heaven had their habitation. It is thou, O king, thou art grown and become strong, for the greatness is shown and reached unto heaven, and thy dominion to the end of the earth. Whereas the king saw a watcher and a holy one come down from the tree, saying, hewn the tree down and destroy it, yet leave the stump and the roots thereof, even the brand of iron and brass and tinder. Well, you get the point. Okay, so and Daniel says this is the interpretation of the dream. All right, so Daniel was used, okay, uh, um, to interpret this dream that the king had, and Daniel was exalted because of that. All right, and it goes on to say, Daniel's um, interpretation of the dream pleased the king, and and yada yada yada. It goes into all that. Okay, so so the Lord uses different people and characters in the scriptures to fulfill His purpose. Okay, and that's what we had got in the book of Romans, the 9th chapter, that the will of the Lord may be fulfilled. Okay, so I've already went a little bit long. Didn't want to go too long on this because there's a lot more meat that we can get. I may do another video on it, but hey man, Jake is hurt out here, and he don't understand the scriptures. Hey man, you need to study, man. You need to study and listen to those people who got the real, the truth. Okay, because the Lord didn't come here for the whole world. Why? I understand, but it's like, damn, y'all always trying to save somebody. We are in the worst situation on the planet Earth. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, especially the so-called Negroes, and we're the ones that need salvation. But you want to give the salvation to all of the other nations that already are living in their heaven. And Jacob, man, you just stupid, man. Just stupid, sottish children. All right, so with that, I'm going to end it off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakal Kadash. Next time I can say Shalom.